Okay, part 3 of the series of 6 about earned value analysis. This time around, I'm going to show you a graphical view of earned value analysis. Okay, I'm using the same case again. It's the 15-week project with a $460,000 budget with 3 weeks worth of data about the project divided into BCWS, BCWP, and ACWP. Okay. What we'd like to do right now is if this is going to be really, for now you have 3 weeks worth of data, but what if you have a project which is 52 weeks? It's pretty difficult to actually see this data in a very chart format. Sometimes it would be nice to see it in a graphical format. We're going to create a line based on the data found in this table. For the line chart, which is a visual representation of our earned value analysis approach, we can actually plot the weekly cumulative amounts of each of the elements of EVA. So look at the previous slide and then compare it to this slide. What you're going to see here is that as each week progresses, it's getting higher and higher and higher. Okay, the values in the second week is the values of the first week plus the second week. So, for example, in the BCWS column, week 1 is 35. If you go to the previous slide, week two's BCWS is 25. So, we want to plot the cumulative value per week. So, 35 plus 25 is 60. For week 3, in the previous slide, the BCWS is 30. So to get the cumulative BCWS in the third week, you add the sum of the values from week 1 until week 3. So you have 35 plus 25 plus 30, which gives you 90. I did the same thing for BCWP and ACWP. So what did I do? After converting the original chart into a cumulative chart, I used Excel to plot the values in a line graph. So what you have here right now is the EVA chart for the case in the second slide set. What you're going to see here is this. What's very important, at least for you, is your planned line. Your planned line is represented by the BCWP. So that's the black line over there. So the 31, the 55, and then the sorry, the not the black line, it's the yellow line because that's the BCWS. That's the budgeted cost of the work that I scheduled. So that's the 35, the 60, and the 90. What you will notice there is that your BCWP and ACWP is below that yellow line. So that's the gray and the black line. Essentially, that means that your costs are low, but your performance or your progress is also low. Okay? So visually, you can immediately see whether or not you are on time, on budget, or on schedule. Okay, this is what I mean. If you're already, if you want to plot your earned value analysis or EVMS, which is the earned value management system, across the whole project, this is what you're going to end up having. So this is another example. It's a project that will go for 12 weeks. What you will notice there is that there's data up until the second week, a seventh week, because you have their ACWP, your BCWS, and your BCWP. Okay, take note, you can already plot your BCWS up until the end of the project. Why? Because that's your plan. You plan to stay on that track. Okay, but let's look visually. What do we notice? At up until the third week, your BCWS and ACWP are more or less together. That means that you're spending more or less uh, um, in the same way or at the same amount as what you planned. But as of the third week, what you're noticing is your BCWP is below that of your BCWS. That means that although you're spending, although you're on budget, your work is way below what you planned. Going to the seventh week, what you're now seeing is that your cost is way above your what you planned, but what you're doing is below that of what you planned. Okay, so in this chart, what you actually can already see are also your variances. Okay, so making it a little bit nicer, it's the same thing, ACWP, BCWP, and BCWS. The difference between your BCWS and your BCWP is your schedule variance. The difference between your ACWP and your BCWP is going to be your cost variance. Okay, so visually, you're now going to be able to see how far you are along in terms of progress in your project, in terms of time, and in terms of your schedule. Okay, so this ends the end of the slide set where I teach you how to create a graphical version of the elements of the earned value analysis. So let's move on to the next one.